Hello, Cancer. Cancer, this is your November 2020. So, Cancer, the first card that comes up for you is Soulmate. Yep, I love it. The card for you for the month of November is Soulmate. What's really important about this particular card, Cancer? Can you see that pretty good? Let me pull it over a little bit. So, Cancer, your card for today and for the month of November talks about your soulmate. Now, with your soulmate, this is definitely something that you've been wanting and waiting for. This is somebody who's probably been in your life already. Somebody who you've met, dated, spent time with, maybe had a relationship with. For some of you, it may be somebody who you know feels like your soulmate. Maybe you have not gotten involved with them yet, but it is coming. For Cancerians, there is an amazing love connection here. There is a feeling of honesty and truth, and it's a feeling of home. When you're around this person, it just feels like home to you. Now, some of you have experienced, and your card that comes up for the month of November is going to talk so much about the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is definitely a card that, well, heartbreak, separation, grief. A lot of you feel that because, I'm going to push this over a little bit so you can see both, but a lot of you feel this way because, wait a minute, because the heartbreak itself that you had to deal with because of this soulmate, because of this person who you thought was going to stay forever, because you have been going back and forth with this person who you felt was your other half, you felt was part of you. You felt that this person gave you the balance, the security, and the value that you needed in this relationship. But when you dealt with the Three of Swords, when you dealt with the heartbreak, when you felt abandoned, like you were alone, like maybe you were stabbed in the heart, some of you maybe journaled about it. Some of you maybe tried to find a way to change it, understand it, get some clarity, fix it. Some of you tried to convince somebody that you were worth it, that they shouldn't have left you, that you love them very much. For some of you, you begged and pleaded for this person not to go, but they went anyway. For some of you, there was no preparation possible, kind of like the Three of Wands. You weren't able, like the Three of Wands reversed maybe, you weren't able to prepare for this. You didn't see it coming that somebody was going to walk away. When a lot of you had to deal with a situation kind of like the Queen of Swords, you had to be a quick thinker in this situation, because the Queen of Swords is all about you're perceptive, very perceptive here. You knew something wasn't right. You couldn't quite put your finger on what it was. A lot of you were stressing and struggling over this. When you talk about the Ten of Pentacles, which is your next card, a lot of you thought that the wealth, your establishments, you thought that the money was going to be enough. You thought that if you paid for everything, if you took care of everything, if you solved all the problems for them, that this would work out, that they would stay and things would be great. But unfortunately, the Knight of Swords came through. Somebody became very opinionated. Somebody definitely, with the Knight of Swords, quick, hasty, rushed real fast. And I feel like this person or yourself may have rushed into this relationship extremely fast. You didn't realize that, we should have took our time more. Someone here may have gotten pregnant as well, very early in this relationship, which caused a lot of problems to a certain degree. For some of you, something had to end with the Death card. Oops, it won't even stay. Something had to end with the Death card because a decision had to be made between two. A lot of you turned your back on a situation, or your partner may have turned their back on you in a particular situation, which was not good. Then we have the Ace of Wands, where somebody got very creative. After making a decision, somebody got very creative. With the Ace of Wands, it talks about inspiration and creation. You were getting inspired by everything that was going on around you. For some of you, you wanted to create something that was going to manifest into a beautiful relationship so that you could once again feel your soulmate's love right there with you. For some of you, this definitely was the hope of your dreams, of your life. You planned a future with this person. Unfortunately, your next card talks about having a loss, regret, bereavement, sadness. Because when we talk about the Five of Cups, she's definitely very distraught, very upset, overwhelmed, filled with a lot of grief and sadness, worried, not knowing what to do next. I feel so bad for you Cancerians who were in this relationship, who put everything you had into it. You exhausted yourself trying to please this partner, this person, for them only to see it as a fantasy, to only see it as the intimacy, the sex, the romance of it, but they didn't try to make it into a permanent situation. For some of you, you dealt with somebody who did betray you. Sadly enough, with the Six of Cups, your innocence, your nostalgia was kind of taken away from you. That stability that you had with the Four of Pentacles, you had stability, security with this person for quite some time. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, it just didn't work out. A lot of you continued, like the Ace of Pentacles, you continued trying to manifest something, trying to make it happen. Prosperity, your manifestation, trying to create something, trying to bring it towards you, exhausted you to no end. A lot of you suffered very heavily emotionally. When we talk about the persistence, the resilience with the Nine of Wands, you continued to be very persistent. You kept trying to fight for this relationship. You kept trying to show them how much they meant to you. For a lot of you, there was a lot of changes that came about. Because I feel like a lot of you, like with the number 8 equals changes, a lot of you were dealing with changes. A lot of you were dealing with growth. A number 6. 6 stands for growth. For some of you, your communication, a number 3, was all around you still. Because somebody wasn't communicating the way they should. Somebody didn't know how to communicate to their partner. Or their partner was so closed off or trying to be so private, you weren't able to get the details, information that you needed. You always had to go elsewhere, ask other people for this. Your partner did not voluntarily tell you things. For some of you, it took everything you had, and then there's the Strength card. It took everything you had to try to save this relationship, but it wasn't possible. Some of you had to hire a lawyer. Some of you had to part and go your separate ways. I get it. Some of you, maybe, because the Ace of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, the Ace of Swords comes up. So for some of you, this is definitely a victory for you. This is definitely a power that you took. You took power. You took control. You got clarity out of a situation, even though it hurt like hell. You got clarity out of a situation. A lot of you had to deal with a lot of disagreements. The Five of Wands. A lot of arguments, a lot of disagreements. In the month of November, you're going to clarify things about these disagreements. I feel like a lot of you have people around you that are very generous and kind and are going to help you through the month of November, because the Six of Pentacles is here. And that talks about a lot of people being very kind to you, very generous, doing charity work, helping, giving, just giving. Or maybe you are giving and giving. I also feel like for some of you, this has caused a great disappointment, because with the Ten of Cups, it's an ending of something that created disappointment here. You definitely are dealing in the month of November with disappointment. However, the other card that comes up is the Five of Pentacles, which talks about insecurity, worried about not finding a new partner, worried about not having the money to take care of yourself, worrying constantly. That's what that card is about. For some of you, this is definitely taking you backwards for a minute in the month of November, because the Eight of Swords shows up, and the Eight of Swords talks about imprisonment and isolation. I don't want you to allow this feeling to take you over. I don't want to let you have this control you for the next month. It's not worth it, because there's something really great around the corner. There's something really great around the corner. For some of you, you're going to deal with some conflict. You're going to deal with a little bit of tension. You may even feel defeated in a situation, and that's what that card talks about. But for some of you, you are going to be emotionally balanced. Once you get through this point and realize what's going on and get that clarity, you're going to get balanced, because that's what this card talks about, balance. And then when you speak about the Knight of Wands, energy, passion, lust, adventure, then you're going to be on your way. You are going to look and find a partner that is going to see things exactly the way that you do. You are going to become the empress that you should have always been. Somebody wanted to have their cake and eat it too, and that was not working. That wasn't working for you at all. Some of you are going to be doing some travel, Cancer. I don't know where you're going, but it's going to be nice. And you're going to either visit back with family, or you're going to go see a past love. For some of you, a lot of you are going to be doing a lot of manifestation. It is going to bring you a beginning, a new start, a new entrepreneur, a new enterprise. There's something new coming. Something new is coming. Somebody's still hanging around waiting to see what's going to happen. Yeah, but there is going to be justice in the matter, so don't worry, because things are going to work out for you in your favor. This month of November, for a minute, you might be being isolated. You might be being the hermit. You might be playing the self-sabotage role for a minute. But then the outcome, the final outcome here for November, will be duality, number 2. It'll be you coming together, being with someone, having a lot of growth, number 6. I'm also hearing from my grandmother that there is somebody, because I feel queens. So as you are the queen, your influence is very strong on others. Your king is going to be of authority, somebody who's going to take the role of control, but yet in a good way. Things are going to come to fruition because you have a 9 here. I also feel like for some of you, Number 4 is very strong, which means stability is coming. So don't panic that things are a mess or in chaos, because stability is definitely coming. Your final card is about the World card. You're going to be able to have everything that you've wanted. Things are going to work out finally for you the way that you intended for them to do. You had to go through this growth spurt. You had to go through this lesson. Unfortunately, it dealt and maybe played with your self-confidence and your progress for a minute, kind of like the Six of Wands. But I am going to say that you found now, as the Nine of Cups, comfort, and your satisfaction is guaranteed here. Your satisfaction is guaranteed here. You're going to become very creative, similar to the Page of Cups. But your person that is coming towards you is, in fact, a Knight of Cups. Very romantic, very charming, very much about love, duality, teamwork, team player. This is a person who is wanting nothing but harmony, marriage, home, because the Four of Wands is your card, and you will have the harmony. You will have the home. You will definitely get to marriage in 2021. So that is your reading for November 2020, Cancer.